All right, obviously everything I'm about to say is not medical advice. If me or Jen are your provider or are your coach, then this actually is very applicable to you, our clients. And I want to make a video that's going to show the absolute necessities when you are on a weight loss diet or if you're trying to burn fat. If you're on something like retatrutide or tirzepatide, I want to show you, which by the way, those are not the same thing, but they're in the same, universe. And I want to show you what a real day of eating, day in and day out looks like for somebody like me who's had a lot of success with peptides. Okay, here we go. We're just going to shine on here. Number one, we're going to start off like this. Hydration. I know it's ridiculous. We know to drink a lot of water. You should be drinking at least half your body weight in ounces. So half your body weight in ounces a day. So somebody like me who's 160 pounds, let's just say, round down and 160, I would say I need, what's that, 80 ounces of water a day. So if this is nearly 20 fluid, yeah, this is almost 20 fluid ounces. So 20, 40, 60, 80. So I need, 4 bottles of these a day minimum. And that's not even a lot of water, guys. Again, gotta have water. Second thing, I made a video earlier, but I'm gonna use it here. I'm the only health provider that would tell you to drink Powerade Gatorade, but not so fast, my friend. You're gonna use like an eighth of a cup, like literally like an eighth of a cup, like quarter cup, you know what I mean, would be like the max. You're basically putting like a shot glass amount of this into a full one of these or 3/4 one of these in order to maintain some electrolytes. I like Powerade more than Gatorade because it has less sugar, period. But if you actually looked at the ingredients, forget that it says high fructose corn syrup. It doesn't matter. Look at electrolytes, salt, sodium, magnesium, calcium, vitamin B12 and C. That's why you have a little bit of this, because the assumption is that you're exercising and you need to replenish the electrolytes, okay? So have a little bit, don't be scared. You don't need to be drinking 3 of these a day. It won't help with your weight loss or your metabolism. Have the discipline. And of course, when you're on peptides, that will help. Next thing that I want to show you, organic heavy cream. I mean, what is it? 1 teaspoon? 1 tablespoon is 60 calories. So I would say 1 tablespoon enough watered down will be a great substitute for milk. Should not hurt your stomach. Maybe in the very beginning, you might have a little bit of the runs, but I can promise you, even if you're lactose intolerant, this is not the same as having milk and the way that milk is strained and prepared and all the different enzymes that go through milk. This right here, and the whey proteins and things of that nature, and the casein, I believe it is, this right here is the secret to having organic, real, fresh dairy and then water it down and use it as milk. It's worked for me for so long, and I used to be terribly lactose intolerant. So gotta have that. The other thing I'm going to show you before we get into the crux of the food is organic liquid stevia. A few little drips like this will make up for real sugar any day of the week and be 100,000 times healthier. Science has proved that this does not signal insulin the way that some of the other alcohol sugars do. This does not signal insulin the way that some of the other Splendas and stevias and all these other sugar crap substitutes that have been linked to carcinogenic type of substances that enter the body. A few little drips of this. I've had blood work several times over the last decade. I've been using this for that entire time. Here we go. It's very simple, guys. Eggs. Eat them 2 to 4 at a time for most of us. Some people as much as 6. I don't know. 2 to 4 eggs per meal seems to work really well for me. Sweet potatoes is my go-to carbohydrate. Enough said. Salmon or salmon. This right here is farm raised. I don't care. If it saves me a few bucks on the real stuff when I'm craving salmon, this is what I eat. Chicken, cook it well. Don't get sick. A lot of recalls out there. 4, 5, 6, 8 ounces of chicken per meal. This is how you gotta go. And then my absolute favorite, number one on top, or the number one of all, ground beef or any kind of beef. 90-10, 85-15, it really doesn't matter when it comes down to it unless you're gonna be like a bodybuilder. But the rule of thumb is the leaner you wanna be, the leaner cuts of meat. The fattier or bulkier you wanna add, extra calories and caloric, because that's the thing. It's not like fat is really like bad. There's 9 grams, 9 grams per ounce of digestible macronutrient fat versus the 4 that comes from carbohydrate or protein. And that's where the idea of calories in, calories out comes from, or you want to be in a caloric deficit. The more lean your food, the lower the caloric intake will be. You can eat plenty of lean food and be just as full. You don't need the fat to make you more full. However, you'll be having more calories the higher the fat content, therefore you might get fuller faster. Capiche? All right. Those are the staples. That and maybe avocado. Sprinkle a little cheese here, a little cheese there. You've got yourself some meals. Historically, people have said, watch out for the condiments and the spicy and the sugary sauces. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to drench this much sauce onto something, you're going to have problems. But if you're going to put this much sauce onto something, you're probably going to do okay, even if it has a little bit of sugar. Just like the Powerade idea. NAD+, great for mitochondria, great for the nervous system. Have some. I don't know. One of these. What is this? A lozenge a day? Lozenge a day. Boom. Tonka Ali for my men and or women out there. You want to boost your testosterone naturally while you're doing all the other things right without getting into TRT? I personally am not on TRT. My testosterone right now has gone from, in the last 6 months, 600 to 800, back down to 650, all the way up to 974. I have never taken more than 2 of these a day, once a week. You know, just being honest. I'm 43 years old, by the way, and my testosterone last year at this time was like 540. Vitamin D3. Yeah, there you go. Have a little vitamin D. Also testosterone supportive. Immunosupportive, testosterone supportive, everything else to the cellular supportive. Got to have the D3. All right, there it is. You know, I just blanked in my head because I was going to show some peptides too, but you guys seen some of my videos. If you haven't, watch a lot of my videos. But right now, I want you to take everything I just showed you to heart. Those foods that I just showed you are literally in 85 to 95% of my meals every day. It's hard to get it done, guys. But like I said, my life is boring. And I do it because I needed to get healthy. And when I am healthy, I hope to maintain my health. My energy levels are through the roof these days. I've never felt so good in so long. My back is doing so much better. Everything and anything I attribute to peptides and them really changing my life. But had I used the peptides without doing the food, the nutrition, and the sleep, and the exercise, and the commitment to that lifestyle, none of it would have been successful. And none of it will continue to be successful. And for my clients, none of you would have had any success had you not stuck to it this way. No alcohol, no partying. You know, social events are not partying. Partying means alcohol. Partying means staying up late. Prioritizing sleep, prioritizing weight training, prioritizing my cardio at a low enough volume to not get hurt, and eating like I just showed you. Peptides get you the rest of the way there, and everything's going to be okay.